Brothers, welcome back to Territorial.io. We're starting off today here in Halo, and I'm liking this spot for ourselves. Now, there are 18 other players in this map. Now, we could go over here, but I don't really like my options of expanding. I think we do still have a nice expansion path kind of in that northern part edge of the ring. So we're going to stay where we are here and kind of look to go out from here and just see if anybody came in on top of us at the end. Nobody on this range, and we'll do another little out, and nope, we are good. We do have that one player, Joe, to our northeast, but he's far enough away where I'm not too concerned about him. And I do see somebody to the south of us as well, but like we talked about, the appeal of this spot is really kind of pushing in and then getting this northern edge of the ring, and then allowing us a lot of different places to kind of put through there. But here comes our infinite growth opportunity, so we're going to get a lot of land right now. We're going to have to really make sure to keep up with the amount of troops we're going to be expending, but we'll just keep looking in on this. And so far, so good. We're getting an absolute ton. We're fighting for the crown, so we're pretty close to it. And we do manage to get into a lot of great places. Let's go ahead and grab these weaker bots right here and start pushing towards Joe. Joe is someone I'm a little bit concerned about, but I just want to try and get as much land as possible. So let's go ahead and start pushing. As soon as I get an opportunity to go south through Leia or Leah, I'm going to do that, but for right now I just need to kind of focus in. This is actually an opportunity to do so, but we'll just kind of keep grabbing these big bots as they do some big attacks. Joe only has about 1,000 troops, or 12,000 troops, so not too big of a concern there. I feel like I am more than anything racing Tony for land, the guy to our south. He has less troops than us, but will still be a bit of a threat in terms of if he beats us down south. So let's really give a good scout's try grabbing all this stuff down here and really kind of push through. I'm not going to be too concerned with what their troop counts are as we're doing the attacks, because again, we just at this point need to get through, and we're big enough to push through. We have about 200,000 troops, so overall we're not going to be too worried about it. Tony's got about 70,000, so we should be able to do bigger attacks than he is, and unfortunately he is going to cut us off south, but I think we'll be able to get this island down here, which would be a tremendous help. So we just have to race him down south and then get him to that island, and I think we're pretty good. Let's go ahead and actually get this player 829. That's a good opportunity for us to continue to grow. He does have just a little bit of weak troops, and so we'll go ahead and get another little attack in on that just to make sure that we grab it all. So pretty good maneuver for us. Now we are touching a lot of people. Now barring any kind of coordinated effort, I think we'll be fine on this island, but let's go ahead and grab this map. There would have to be a lot of forces that work against us, but let's go ahead and grab this little island here so when we want to, we can boat into the Russian Empire, but we'll come back when we have some troops. Okay, and we're back. We're boating into Russian Empire. Tony has attacked him once or twice, and I just want to get him down because Venezuela is also super weak. So we'll go ahead and accept a invitation from Tony for a non-aggression, but there's a lot of opportunity for us to grab land down here. Now it does open us to Yex. Yex is going to be a bit of a concern, but we can hopefully make way with all of the troops that we have and build that up into a nice little advantage that we can take into other players. But we'll go back into saving mode and see what happens at the end of that. Okay, and the player to our north just left, so we're going to grab all of his land. So just a little update here, but we'll continue saving, and then once we get all of this land, we'll start pushing through some people. Okay, and now we're back. We're starting to attack Tony. Well, one attack did it for him, so that was a nice little just kind of get rid of you, get rid of a neighbor type scenario. Now as long as we can get rid of one of these guys, we will win. So let's immediately start working in on Yex. I don't really need a teammate in this one, so if we can get rid of Yex, then we'll win the game, or at least even get him down to size. As you can see, the Yex is actually getting a little bit of land, but everyone's troops combined comes pretty close to what our troops are. So we just want to knock this guy down so they don't have the time to build up, and maybe we can get away with a quick one right here. Yex is getting down really low, so we're getting a ton of his land, and I think this will be good enough for us to finish him off as one more attack, and there we go. And that should be the end of him. And with that, I feel pretty confident saying that the game is ours to lose. We have more than the rest of the team's combined pixel count, so we can really start kind of working through these guys one by one with no fear. So let's take out the next strongest, which is Empire over here, and we'll just keep doing attacks. Taco has full sent something, but we'll send a little boat there. He full sent into Empire. Empire has left, and our boat will get rid of Taco really quickly. I'm not sure if that boat's even going to do any damage. We'll kind of, well, it might be full sending into us, which is interesting. But we have kind of eliminated his, his base of operations. So all those troops came out to be nothing. But so GG's on this one, boys, and on to the next. Alrighty, next up is going to be some Team Europe action. We are on the black team. Let's try and find a good spot for ourselves. You know what? This is okay. Now we'll go back over here. Okay, well, you're going to be there. Okay, we'll be here. We'll be here. Yeah, I just kind of want to switch things up. I don't really want to go in our favorite spots. It is actually pretty primed right now, but let's get something different in here, which is kind of go in this southern part of the map and see what we can do. So we do have a teammate to our east, which is going to be kind of good, kind of bad. We'll see how that kind of works out. And I do believe there's a teammate to our north. We'll figure it out after this next send. Yes, there is. So he moved from the east to the north, which is a good move for him, bad move for us, because the north was really going to be our power base. But we'll just see what we can do here. Unfortunately, it does look like we'll be taking on these two red players by ourselves, unless another player comes out from somewhere that we're not seeing right now. But here comes our infinite growth strategy. This is our opportunity to get really big really fast, and we're going to be able to get a lot of this land, immediate land, but we're not going to be able to splinter out through any of the surrounding lands, unfortunately. But we do have a number of troops, so let's go ahead and start this expansion path pretty quickly. Make sure that we do not get boxed in. Now, having the Fallen Kingdom to our north, I'm not going to be too concerned with getting the land to our east as much as I am going to be wanting to push out and competing for this land to our west to really slow down the red team's growth and try and get some positioning on them so that hopefully we can only have one of them as a neighbor. Now, Fallen Kingdom is unfortunately full sending in his attack, so that is going to be a little bit difficult for us to overcome. He might die, but let's just try and grab all of this land. It is kind of putting ourselves in the middle, which is not necessarily my favorite position, but I think there is a lot of bots to the north, so we'll be fine, but we just kind of need to get to a corner sooner rather than later. Yeah, so unfortunately we are going to be in the middle. The bots are all to our east, so there's nothing we can do about that, but there is nobody to the north. That is great news, so we're going to be really pushing in on this. Let's try and grab as much land as we can. Now, we are going to be putting ourselves at quite the risk in terms of exposing ourselves to an attack somebody could be saving, but honestly, with this much land up for grabs, I think it's worth it. So we'll just keep pushing through these guys and seeing what we can do. Now, there is this white player up here and this green player in Scandinavia. So we'll keep an eye on them, but I honestly think that we're going to have such an opportunity to get, when we get all this land, to just keep growing, that it'll outweigh any kind of the consequences around us. Now, we are getting attacked by this white player. I'm not even going to worry about it for the time being. I'm just going to keep expanding. We'll grab a lot more land than we'll lose here. So now we'll give a little baby attack in on him and just kind of slow him down. And this red player is asking for a truce. Well, you know what? We'll just kind of sit on that one for a time being and grab this. And I think we'll just kind of sit back here and try and build up as much as possible and come back when we have troops. Okay, and we're back. Now, this white player is still very aggressively attacking me. I am concerned with the red and blue players to my south and what they can do to me, so I really don't want to push against this guy. Now, he is doing big attacks and he's getting a lot for it, but eventually we'll whittle him down. I'm not concerned about the land he's getting. If anything, it's just kind of exposing himself to maybe a backstab from the green player, but we'll be really patient here because I do want to keep building up. I don't want to weaken myself trying to fight this one guy that we're going to beat no matter what, and weaken ourselves so much that people start dogpiling on us. So we'll be really careful here. As you can see, it's not a concern at all. We're already back to before we started. All of his troops are gone, so we were able to handle that one pretty effectively. Now, we are a little bit weaker on troops than I would like to be, so we will go back into saving and then see what we can do after that. Okay, and we're back. Now, Caden, this blue player to our south, has given us a few attacks, so he is actually a great target for us because blue is doing a really good job of capitalizing on the board. They have some very strong players down in Africa that we're going to want to try and get rid of. They're the only real team left. Everybody else is solo, so blue is definitely the threat here, and I think that red and green might leave us alone long enough to take him down. But I'm thinking once I get through this guy and I'll go through hay, I'll leave this kind of bot barrier there is, assuming that I can get down there, and then take out the last green player so that we can not have to take on, we don't risk having to take on everybody at once, because that is, again, something I don't think is possible. But we'll take a big risk here in grabbing Hayes land, and that worked out really well. he just left instead of full send. So again, we're going to leave these little bots as a barrier here to protect ourselves from the blue player, and then move our self into the rest of Scandinavia to grab all of this land up here, just to kind of eliminate any kind of team build-up advantage that there's going to be. So that's going to work out really well for us. We're at a ton of troops. We got about 20 million. This the red player did unfortunately full send into us, but that kind of works out nicely. If ever he had teamed up on us, the blue player could have voted into us, and then we might have been in trouble. But now we're at such a great location that we can just safely take out this green player and just make sure that we have 2 people or 1 person that we're taking on instead of 2. So it is kind of working out to our favor. So there goes the full send for the green player, and we'll grab this up here, and then we'll slowly, now we can start pushing through these bots and finish off this blue player to our south. So Fallen Kingdom has stayed in here the whole time. Nope, this guy left. Thank you so much. That helps out a lot, just kind of in terms of time. We'll send some boats out and see what we need to get to get to 99% and grab the rest of this bot here. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. So we'll just get some islands here and say, you know, GG's to all involved. This was a really fun game. It was an interesting team game for sure. And we'll go on to the next one. Okay, so last map of the day is going to be some snow action. This will be a free-for-all with about 14 people in here. So let's go to this island over here. Typically, I don't like to be on the smaller of the 2 islands, but if we can get this all to ourselves, or at least relatively to ourselves, then that is a great move. But now that there are 3 people, I'm actually thinking about moving over here and trying to capitalize on the middle ground. Now, as long as nobody came in at the last second, we're going to have a lot of room for expansion. So we did immediately get an early truce. I will actually accept that. That is a good truce for us, and we'll just keep growing. So no one spawned directly on top of us, which is fantastic. So we'll just keep growing from here. Now, in terms of overall growth strategy, I really don't have one, to be honest with you. I'm just going to try and grow wherever I can and see what we can do here. Being in the middle, you know, it was kind of a toss-up, to be honest with you. It was just like, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to win this game, but hey, at least we can put it in a competitive, you know, do something a little bit different, and that's kind of what we were going for. But now we are entering the bot phase. We actually did pretty well. We had the crown briefly there, and we'll see if we can get it back. But we'll just be looking for those weak bots. Again, not really pushing in any specific direction. Nobody is really around us, but overall, I would really like to push north, which is working out well for us. And then I think east and west, try and see how much I can cut off up here. I didn't see anybody spawn up there, so that's kind of looking like the direction for us. But I also want to push into this neighbor of ours just to make sure that he doesn't get super strong. But we do have the crown back, and we're maintaining a pretty high troop level in comparison to everyone around us. So this is actually working out really well. So we'll just keep doing this. And yeah, nobody up north other than bots. So we have a lot of room to expand, and we'll just keep doing that and grabbing as much of these bots as possible. And let's see, you are good, and you are good. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So I do start to see some neighbors, but they're all a little bit weak, so nobody too concerning, and we'll just, yeah, we'll be right in the middle, right where we never want to be. But honestly, this is working out pretty well for us. We're getting a lot of power base just by taking out these bots here, and there's still no one up here. White Chocolate is the closest person, so if we can push into this spot, I think we'll be fine. We'll just be able to take out any boaters. The colony's a little bit on the weak side, so I don't think he'll be coming over. And there we go. So we have an absolute ton of troops, and we'll just grab the rest of these little bots, and we'll go into save mode. Okay, and we're back. This guy who was our buddy from the beginning, full sent on dark, so we're going to be able to take advantage of that. We had also sent a boat over to the colonies to take advantage of his low troop count. He only had about 100,000, so this worked out really well for us. Now, Strat at the bottom is not someone I necessarily want to attack. Babu accidentally boated into us, so I'm not super worried about him either at the moment. And I'm thinking that our #1 target should be this White Chocolate guy. He doesn't have an absolute ton of troops, but let's go ahead and get Guatemala as we're going out there. He has wasted a lot of his troops as well. It looks like he might even full send the chocolate player. But we're sitting at about 10 million troops, so unless the board really comes together right now and all focuses in on us, we're gonna, well, there you go. So now we'll just immediately start going into dark to really solidify our win. I don't think anybody can stop us at this point, but we have a lot of troops deployed, so that's working out really well. Now Strat at the bottom again is a little bit of a concern, but I honestly think I'm gonna ignore him for the time being and maybe take out Babu, who also has a little bit low troop count. Strat's also going over there, so that's great for us. So let's go ahead and actually do a little bit of a race to get him. He's only got about 1 million troops left, so there's gonna be a lot of land up for grabs. And then the other pink player is attacking Strat, so this is working out super well for us. And let's just go ahead and finish off the rest of this land. And then, there we go. And we'll go ahead and take out this northern player. Oh, wait, Strat. Wow. Okay, Strat, full sent at some point too, so he's now gone. Almost. There you go. And we'll take out this player that we hadn't gotten to quite yet. And then over here as well. Oh my gosh, Strat, go away. You're ruining it. I've called your exit like 3 times. But we'll go ahead and finish off this player down here. But boys, this has been Territorial.io. Sure hope you liked the video. If you did, hey, give it one of them thumbs up. If it's your first time around here, hey, subscribe. I do videos every day. And I'll see you boys in the next one.